Whoa, look, it's time to go viral. I'm homicidal, I'm killing all my rivals. I'm the man, shit, I put that on the Bible. Spotify my target, cause you know I got the title. Hey, I'm a Mac 2. I told baby shake that ass like she Apple. She said it's real, so she got my name tattooed. House full, so I hit it in the back room. Whoa, baby said she needed now, peep the urgency. I want a little Kim before she had the surgery. Leg spread on that hardcore poster. She love twerking, she just do it for the coach. Big dog, bull massive. 6 tray Chevrolet, I'm classic. All these niggas mad at me, that's tragic. The main bitch in the bed, that's graphic. Yeah, we about to go viral. Hey, we about to go.
What's the deal? What's the deal? What's the deal, people? Welcome back to another episode of the VwP podcast. Share, like, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. You already know the deal, man. Shout out all the VwP members and all the official VwP members in the chat. As always, it's your host that do the most, Mr. Viral himself, aka the villain, because they hate me for my opinion. And I got bro with me as always. What's the deal, bro?
Yeah, man, what's happening? LBC Messiah the Great. Y'all know we here to lead the way, and we got a good one for y'all today, man. This a special guest.
This one was heavily requested for weeks. And it finally came to fruition. So shout out to everybody who was throwing the idea around in the chat. Shout out to my boy behind the scenes. I don't know if he want his name revealed on camera, but I definitely got to say shout out to my boy for making it happen.
We appreciate the layup for sure.
Come on, man. We got the viral sensation, Mr. Kraig Smith in the building. What's the deal, bro?
What's happening, man? If I owe you something, get it from God, nigga.
Good luck getting that, man. How you feeling, man? You been going crazy this year.
Oh, man, shit. I'm just grinding, man. You know, I'm blessed, man. I'm too blessed to be stressed no matter what's going on in my life, man. I'm here, happy to be breathing. A lot of niggas is dead and gone, but I'm still moving on. You feel me?
That's facts.
As you should. You and Corey Holcomb been shaking the streets up, man. I like what y'all be out there talking about. I said, damn, they on the same frequency we on. We gotta connect.
The raw and uncut, man. They don't be ready for it.
Oh yeah, Corey, man, he a legend, man. That nigga say what he want to say.
Nah, for sure.
As he should. In the era of them trying to cancel free speech, I love when people exercise the free speech against the powers to be, because it gives me hope. It gives people like me hope. Because during COVID, I was losing hope in humanity. Like, damn, y'all really just finna comply blindly? Ain't nobody finna question nothing? Right. Then I come across content like yours. I'm like, okay, it's still a few of us out here.
Indeed, man. You know, I think a lot of times people they waste time in their life. They mistake activity for progress. They do a whole bunch of nothing. Talk to a whole bunch of nothing ass motherfuckers and think because they not sitting at the crib, but they going somewhere, man. You gotta throw haymakers in life. Sometimes you gotta put yourself out there and risk scrutiny and being disagreed with, you know? So that's just all a part of manhood and growth, man, is realizing that everybody ain't your motherfucking friend, you know?
That's a great thing, because we pride ourselves on speaking our minds and the things that we choose to, how we see fit. And a lot of people would take our word as law, and you know they use that against you, but we don't be worried about the scrutiny. It's about just standing on your own 10, I believe. Like you said, as a man, you should better speak your mind and not worry about the flack that come with that.
Hell no.
Yeah,
I'm joking.
Yeah, I love the word disagreeable. I love the fact that you use disagreeable, because we preach that a lot on here. I feel like you're not even a man if you're not disagreeable, because if you just agree to everything, what morals do you stand on? Like, nothing goes against your beliefs. You just believe everything. So that means no matter who in the room, you just gonna side with them, meaning you're going against yourself to me. So shout out to you for that one. What? Go ahead, bro.
And we playing chess out here too, you know. You know, sometimes you may be around people that don't think or see things the way you do. So, you know, you have to really be selective on what's worth your time and your energy. You feel me?
Nah, that's facts.
You know, a certain agenda ain't you and a certain lifestyle ain't you. You know, I'm not gonna argue with a motherfucker that may live that lifestyle, because I'm not trying to talk you out your shit. I'm just firm in mind. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you know, it's you gotta really pick and choose those battles.
Now, we got an array of topics. You know, we don't really like the whole interview base. Say, when did you start podcasting? How long you been? That's cool, just for the backstory. We really big on the dialogue, the culture shifting conversations, and the conversations that make people uncomfortable, because that's the only way to get change, is to get people out of their comfort zone. So when you got a conversation that'll make people double take, like, whoa, what the fuck you just say?
Right.
You making progress to me. And what caught my eye about you and Corey Holcomb was that song y'all did.
Which one?
Man, you know which one I'm talking about, man.
Shannon
Come on, man. Stop playing. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
We've done hundreds of songs.
Come on, man. The one that one
Well, that was the latest viral one.
Yeah.
I'm from Long Beach, so you know y'all did the whole 213 rendition.
Oh, yeah.
So that hit me. I'm like, hold
yeah.
on, cuz, where'd this come from? Was that just like a spoof, or y'all really just riding on Shannon?
No, it ain't never personal. It's just a spoof. You know, I mean, for me, man, I'm one of the only people that speak out. I love athletes, but I hate when they podcast because the niggas don't be talking about shit. And then it don't be really nothing that's applicable to a man's life. They just talk about who's the greatest? Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan. 1A, 1B, Kobe Bryant. Like, that's all them niggas talk about on their shows.
Nah,
You know what I mean?
facts.
So, even though I love athletes, I just don't really feel like they be standing on shit. So, with the whole Shannon Sharpe thing, it's a lot of different things that go into why him and Corey don't see eye to eye. But with him getting caught with the young white girl, and you know, then the kind of, you know, iffy dude, I guess the iffy stylist guy.
Yeah, that was.
You know,
We got on
That's
his
a
ass for
wobbler.
that too. Yeah,
that's a wobbler.
We comedians. So as a comic, you know, I started off as just a rapper 20 years ago, and I got into stand-up in 2009. I've been doing stand-up and both ever since. So the art of stand-up it's not like how we was raised, where it's a bravado and you got to stand on your square. As far as like, you know, it ain't about toughness. It's about having a point of view and being honest with yourself, regardless of how uncomfortable that honesty is. So if a nigga like a Shannon is doing things and it may seem like he playing with a different lifestyle, through a real comedian's lens, you look like a sucker because you're not man enough to be who you are outwardly. So how can you interview anybody and ask them questions about their life and hold people to a standard when you tiptoeing on some other shit and you're not willing to be yourself on camera? You know, so that's the type of honesty that comedians have that maybe rappers don't have or ball players don't have, because a lot of niggas have PR. They got people speaking for them. They building narratives. They're not really keeping it 100. And in comedy, you can't really be a great or be considered a great unless you stepping on something that's uncomfortable to the masses. You know what I mean? So that's what that is about. But it ain't personal though. You know what I'm saying? It's just what's in the media.
Nah, I feel like we get it because we like to call a spade a spade. When you see it for what it is, you gotta call it how you see it. Do you think that like these athletes and stuff is just more so them being controlled versus the comedians? Or do you, it's the two questions, that and do you think the comedians of coming from your era is a lot different than now?
Yeah. Me. So my era, it's a lot different. I mean, the bottom line is like, you know, athletes, even though they, you know, genetic monsters blessed from God to have just, you know, physical capabilities that's God-like, you feel me? But that don't make you a person that should be speaking for Black people or be put at the forefront of anything that has to do with us. You feel what I'm saying? Because they've been compromised. They've been compromised as far as, you know, they don't speak from a place of what's best for us. They speak from a place of what's best for their pockets. You know what I mean? So these niggas be tiptoeing on shit, and it ain't enough manhood in it. You know what I'm saying? They like grown kids, adolescents. You know what I mean? So it's really hard for somebody that's standing on something, that's sacrificing something artistically and taking chances, nigga, to quitting jobs and getting into it with your bitch. And her, you know, not letting you see your kids because you pursuing your dream. And here go this nigga that played 10 years in the NFL or NBA. This nigga ain't standing on nothing. This nigga don't have no motherfucking point of view on life. You know, everything is just, you know, so it's hard for me as a man that sacrificed everything I've sacrificed to sit here and watch a nigga that ain't really on shit, try to tell me what I need to be on and, you know, and just get all the opportunities. That may seem like some hater shit, but I don't know how many episodes y'all in. I'm about 600-700 episodes in. Nigga grind. I went from no studio to my own studio. I done jumped around. I done made a lot of money podcasting. I done been up and down. So I went through every level of this. So when I see a nigga step in, retire from the NBA, and he ain't talking about shit, it's disappointing. It's like, well, damn, nigga.
No, we could definitely relate to that because we going on, we close to like 200 episodes. And we've had this conversation multiple times about the athletes and the actors and the celebrities who, you know, their original career, where they got the fame, is over with. And they just look at the podcast like, oh, this is a free bag. I got a fan base. I'm going to just jump in it. But The conversations are all PC or they're all pushing agendas, and to keep it 100, they all going against the progress we trying to make for us as people. So I view it the same way you do. It's not even no hater shit. It's like, if you gonna get in this, get in it for real. You already rich. You already famous. Y'all the ones who really don't need to be controlled.
Right.
We the ones trying to itch our way into the door, and we taking the risk and sacrificing everything to have these culture shifting conversations. It's like, God damn, y'all got the world literally groveling at your feet, and y'all gonna still just bow down to every single agenda. It's moving us backwards. I hate to see it, to be honest.
Man, I was watching a show with one of my favorite ball players of all time, Paul Pierce.
That was my favorite as a kid.
That's crazy.
That was my favorite growing up.
What show was
The
it?
show he got with this broad now, right?
Oh, I seen that. Go ahead.
So Paul, man, to me, he the most slept on small forward of all time. I got him top 6, 7 small forwards, somewhere around 6 or 7. And I got nothing but love for this brother. But he found a chick online podcasting. She was on another show. And the show she was on was with a chick I used to mess with, right? And it was 2 chicks and a nigga. So he liked the chick. He got at her. She was like the butt of the joke on the other show. She really wasn't about shit. They would go viral off of her sounding goofy. You know what I'm saying? So he reached out to her to smash. You know, so they interviewing on T-Rail's show. You seen that interview?
Yeah, back on Fig. Yeah, okay.
So you know you're talking about. He was on there with.
Yeah, I know you're talking
and
about.
She like, he got at me, and she responded with a business plan. You feel what I'm saying? And just that whole interaction, just to see how goofy the game could be. You know what I'm saying? She said the nigga responded, well, just tell me the number. You know what I'm saying? Wrote the bitch a check for whatever the amount. You get what I'm saying? So that's really the game we in.
God damn.
And you know, women got it on. We like to say they got it on easy.
They got it on easy, so now nigga got to get into sending these bitches again. I got to start sending bitches at some of these motherfuckers.
10 toes to the pavement.
You ain't never
Man,
lied.
you know, but that's the game, man. So you can't hate, you got to adjust. But, you know, once you realize, okay, this is what it is, I guess the uncomfortable part is figuring out, you know, how can you order your steps to win and get the most out of what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Because if you play it in a square way, you're going to lose.
Okay, I thought you was talking about the other female that he be on the show with.
It's the light-skinned chick.
It's one chick. She used to be heavy set and she got in shape now. That's the show I always see them. I don't think she went on Back on Fig. So you talking about somebody different?
She went on Back on Fig with him. So she used to be on another podcast. I could find a clip and send it to you. They went on Back on Fig together and they talked about how they met and how long they've been messing around. And in the interaction, you could tell Paul Pierce was on some, I like this chick. I'm trying to fuck with her. And she was on some transactional shit. Like, and they go, okay, I fuck with you, but this is what you got to do. You feel me? If I'm going to leave my show and fuck with you, this the check you got to write. And then through that whole interaction, they start, I guess, fucking around and became a couple. And they talked about it on Back on Fig. That's why I watched the clip.
Right, that's crazy. Because I seen Paul Pierce give some great takes about relationships and stuff like that. And I didn't think that he was in his trick bag. But I expect that from the athletes and stuff like that because that's what they're used to, in my opinion, from what I see.
I just think it fuck up the game a little bit because women's ideas of how they supposed to interact with a male gets skewed based on celebrities. Because with a celebrity, it's like, I got more money than I got time.
Right.
I don't mind throwing you a couple dollars to get what I want out of it. But it's tainting the views of women down here in the real world. Now they looking at you, a guy who maybe got an average 9 to 5, like, hey, Paul Pierce just dropped you want to fuck with me? I need the same type of energy.
And then when she spread that, when she spreads her message, now all these women thinking with this delusion mind state that they gonna be the same, getting that same type of bag, and then it gets more people jumping in the podcast game that don't really want to do it either.
Right.
So it's tricky, like you said. You're gonna have to play it around that, but I don't see that lasting long because most people gonna get it that way. They're gonna end up giving up when it ain't working. Like you said, to be the butt of the joke of the other podcast, and now you feel like you're the center of it.
Right.
It's gonna get to a point where you're not getting them same reactions or that same feedback.
Right.
And that's gonna have you. It's gonna be a hindrance in itself. So
Indeed.
Yeah.
But them the lessons you can only learn watching, because I've seen that shit happen 100 times. You know what I mean?
So
it's like, damn, he came over there and saved her.
low key through her life raft. What you think about the red pill and that whole community? Because a lot of the red pill community was against that. It started off something good, And then the same thing happened, which happened with podcasting, period. People saw the monetization of it. And then you had any fucking goofy who can get in front of the camera and read a script giving out relationship advice.
Right.
And it started to demonize the red pill because people went overboard with it. Like, well, shit, they just love us as long as we trashing women. So it go from giving advice to just getting drunk OnlyFans women on just to say, fuck you bitches. And now they look at everybody like, I mean, y'all are just doing it for the money. Y'all ain't really giving no real advice.
Yeah. So, man, forgive me. The red pill community is basically, what is that again?
So basically it was like seeing reality for what it is. It was like a play off the movie The Matrix, right? Okay. So it's like, okay, the government will tell you certain things. You take the red pill, then you can see the real message. Like we always reference a movie called They Live, where they had these special glasses where you put it on and then say you look at advertisement, it'll be a real message. So the message would be like, oh, buy your wife a diamond ring. Then it'll say, go in debt forever when you put the glasses on type shit. So they turned that into like content. And then that went to giving relationship advice. Basically for men, let's say you didn't have a dad around, he never taught you how to talk to women. So they would give you like the red flags, green flags. It started as some cool shit. Yeah. And that's where Kevin Samuels blew up in that lane. And then after he blew up, everybody got in the lane. Then you had the Fresh and Fits, the goofy like Myron, then they started abusing it. And it turned into what it is today.
Yeah. Okay. You know, it's just supposed to be some real man perspective.
It was supposed to be some real man perspective. It turned into some goofy shit.
Even you might speak from a red pill perspective without even realizing sometimes from the things that y'all say on y'all show, especially the way Corey be jumping out the window about shit. So I think it depends, but
yeah, like you and Corey would be essentially red pill.
Okay. Well, he probably pioneered that because that nigga show been around for 15 years. Yeah, so I didn't even know that, man. We just be on there talking our comedians.
Right.
Just having fun and shit. Yeah. Well, that's dope.
Yeah, so what you think about what's going on with all of this Diddy trial shit? Because, you know, you just had Kid Cudi go testify. You had Cassie testify. All her info is leaking out to the media. She went from being the damsel in distress victim to, oh shit, she was leading the freak offs. Yeah. Oh shit, she was playing Kid Cudi and Diddy at the same time. Yeah. She was fucking 10 dudes at the same time. She ain't as innocent as she was painted out to be. Yeah. What's your whole view on that? You think Diddy got any wiggle room to get up out of this?
Man, it's a possibility. You know, I went viral about a year ago for basically saying Cassie should be not an assailant. What's that word?
An accomplice.
She's an accessory.
Yeah,
and she hustling her pussy. So when a woman has a price on her pussy and somebody pays it, you can't deal with her like she a Claire Huxtable. You know what I'm saying? This is a woman who uses sexuality as a part of a strategy to gain success, and she needs to be in prison. She needs to be facing the same charges that Puffy is facing. So that's my take on it. And, you know, I had information about a year ago that even when she was dealing with Puff, you know, she was disrespecting Kim Porter, rest in peace. Puffy would bring her to the crib, talk bad about her, chastise her. You know what I mean? She'd get in the bed with Puffy and Puffy would fuck her in front of his wife and just do all type of disrespectful shit that she was cool with when she was on the winning edge. You feel what I'm saying? So, you know, I just think it's not a good thing that she could play victim now that the shit hit the fan. You know, not only did she get 30 mil, you know what I'm saying, but now she's being treated like a victim. You know what I mean? And that's not fair to the women or the men who are actually victims of Puff. Now, on the other hand, as a man, I feel like if you're in any situation where you compromise your sexuality, or if you let a man take your sexuality for any type of gain, then in my opinion, you're not a man. You know? So can't no nigga get on the stand talking about, like, he kept raping me every time I came over. He kept, no, nigga, you and that nigga was fucking.
Yeah, facts, pretty much. Facts. Yeah.
You feel
That's
me?
Facts.
And you didn't blow up, and your record didn't do as good as you thought it was. And nigga, now you want to start telling, nah, fuck that. All the niggas that was around him, the Gene Deals, to me, he's a weirdo. Gene Deal, every day he hating on Puffy.
All these niggas coming out the woodworks now. Y'all was cool with it when y'all was a part of it too.
That's what I'm saying. When he was getting that check, now he the worst nigga in the world. First of all, the thing that's weird about Gene Deal is, if correct me if I'm wrong, but he was an actual peace officer. He was a probation officer. So now you're doing all this hindsight hating when you was there for everything, nigga. You telling on yourself. Are you that motherfucking stupid? And then who else? Mace. I love Mace, but you know, he the only one that did the right thing. But my thing is this, man, like, you know, I ain't no homosexual. I don't hang with homosexuals, nigga. It ain't gonna be a homosexual that tell you he been around me more than 10 minutes. You feel what I'm saying? So you can't. So now on the other end of this shit, now you want to come out and say, I don't know, Mace. I'm on the fence about Mace because I like him. I like what he represents. I think it's weird that he started preaching and then stop fucking with guys so he could podcast. You feel
that was crazy.
Nigga, you choosing podcasting over God, nigga?
But he tried to go back to rap after the preaching, though, didn't he? Yeah.
I never bought the preacher shit, though.
Yeah.
I never bought the preacher shit.
But you know what's crazy when you see all this shit going on now that you hear May speak out and now he's so happy, like, this is why I got out the way, this is why I missed so much money. It's like, okay, if you did know that was going on, was you involved in something where you like, I gotta run to God for a minute? You know what I'm saying?
That ain't even why he got out the way. He got out the way because he was in some trouble down there in Harlem.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is,
Pop Lottie and them ran him out, and he ran to God, and then he tried to double back, become a rapper. And now you gangsta Mace again. So I fuck with Mace, but I always is like, you put a chink on your armor with that. We knew that shit was fake.
Even with Mace, I look at Mace like Mace. I never looked at him like just a gangster. Like when you think about Harlem niggas that come out of Harlem, I never looked at Mace like that. Even the way he rapped and the way he was, it was like, I never got that persona from him. Putting on what was the shit him and Diddy used to wear? The shiny shit and all that. Like, you was creative and you was good in that space, but it's like a lot of these people, I just seen them calling him out about the Biggie shit and all that. I don't know if y'all seen that interview. Niggas was going in talking about Mace knew what was going on. This is why he stayed in the hotel. He got to breaking it down, talking about I was with my bitch, but it was just like, he got a lot of shit going on too.
My thing is, I mean, Puffy, this nigga's sexual appetite.
Wow. It's unlimited. He's a wild boy.
You gotta be the fuck Biggie? I mean, you fucking nigga, what? You fucking Biggie? You fucking nigga? That's crazy.
They said all them lyrics come sing. You a nasty nigga.
Oh, I mean, you fucking Biggie. Mom?
You had Lil Kim right there.
Come on, kid. No, you had every woman at your fingertips. That's crazy.
I don't know if he was fucking big, but I'm saying.
Yeah, nah, I know. Yeah, that shit is wild.
It's just, to me, that taints Bad Boy. That taints Biggie's.
Yeah, they've been going out and Biggie. Now they getting all that nigga lyrics and shit and all the gay shit he done said. And they like, man, Biggie was on the fence. They said he was trying to get out of there from Diddy. They act like
Kim was 15.
Yeah, they ain't even gonna talk about it.
It's like, nigga, all that shit is crazy. And who would have thought the real gangster was Puffy, not Suge?
Not Suge the whole time. It was Puff. He wasn't playing with that Joker role. That nigga was serious.
That nigga is a sociopath, homie. That's a scary motherfucker that don't have no limits. Cassie got on the stand and said this nigga taught her how to give head. That he sucked a nigga's dick in front of her and said, this is how you give me.
God. No, this nigga
I didn't see
Diddy is crazy. I didn't know that was going on.
I didn't see the transcripts.
I thought you was gonna say like, yeah, he told her like,
I thought he was coaching her like, okay, slow down.
Damn, this
How the nigga demonstrated one-on-one. That's crazy
that
work.
nigga Diddy's a menace. But one thing though, clear, the Rico shit they got going on is bullshit. Like I seen some shit on, they had like TMZ TV or whatever they had going on. They was speaking about the case. To me, it looked like damn near what they do in the media now with all the fake content going on. They had a lawyer. They had what's the white lady that be on CNN? They had her and they had I think Ebony Williams. Don't get me wrong, but they was on there talking. I'm like, this shit just look fake as fuck. Then they had another white bitch on there that didn't have no facts. She was just talking about what she think Diddy was doing. Right. And I'm just like, damn, that's crazy with all these transcripts out and she just running her mouth like that.
What I seen was one of the prosecutors, I believe she was a white chick. They went down her record and she has never in her career went in the favor of men like ever. Like she went against men in her entire career. So I don't know. It looked like they setting him up for the okie doke to me. I think he's guilty of being a fucking freak, but as far as the Rico part,
I don't think you're a bad person.
Good or bad, it just depends on where your freak meter is.
The way you looking at it.
The thing is, look, man, is we hunters, nigga. So you mean to tell me that all it take is a rap deal for you to let me take advantage of you? Like that's your manhood is worth that?
Diddy out here selling dreams to niggas and bitches. and what's crazy is that they going for it without getting nothing. But like even with the girl he was dealing with, Cassie, she was reaping the benefits. You had no problem. What made you not walk out of there before year 10 or 13 came? You had all this time. I don't care what nobody say. Even when they showed the video, it was a fucking security guard in there, came up there 2 or 3 times before you left. Right. Probably wanted to go steal whatever was in that bag and get up out of there. But they got a toxic situation. That's all that was. Diddy was a sociopath nut when it came over her, and one of them like an ex-boyfriend or something that still can't get over the bitch. And that's what he was doing with her.
Does he beat the charges?
It depends what charges though. The RICO shit, that's really just to make him plea out to something, in my opinion. I think that's what it is. Exactly.
Hit you with a RICO, they want your bread. So that's why all that state line shit comes into play, because now they could take all the money.
They talking about, he had 2 AKs in his house. What nigga, what millionaire, billionaire ain't gonna have no guns in his house? That didn't make no sense. And then he had a few, coke or some X pills and a gang of motherfucking Diddy oil. Yeah. Cuz wild with that oil.
Nah, see, even the trafficking thing, to me, they gotta go redo that law. That whole Mann Act of 1910, that shit is some bullshit anyway. If I wanna pay for somebody to fly to me to fuck me or to fuck the homies and they willingly come do it, how in the fuck is that trafficking? Yeah. And it was like 10 men. I thought it was like women. I'm waiting to see the bitches. He was flying niggas out, grown ass men. So I don't know, man.
But the only thing I seen that was in his benefit was the dude that they went and he was fucking Cassie. Was he the escort or something like that?
Yeah,
and he came.
Nigga, now he had a comedy name.
The Punisher or some shit like that.
He said, cousin, he would have looked up the Punisher. That's exactly. He said he was at least fucking her like 6 times a year, but he would come out. But he said he never seen nothing crazy. He ain't seen no crime. The only thing he did was see that. Besides, go ahead.
I really don't think he did anything that should warrant prison time. Morally, I mean, I don't fuck with the type of shit he was on, but a nigga abusing power, one time I get it, but if you continually keep coming back and letting the nigga continue to abuse you, that's something that you're complicit in. You know, it's like a nigga that's a dope fiend. Like, a lot of niggas get hooked on this crystal and shit like that. That's because they don't have I'm not saying they cowards, but they don't have the courage to just kill themselves. So they just do crystal. It's an elongated suicide. Now we all got to suffer through your addiction. You feel me? And if you keep fucking with a nigga that's addicted to a crystal equivalent, which is Puffy, being addicted to dopamine, you know what I mean, and being addicted to just illogical behaviors that cause the release of dopamine. If you continue to go around him knowing he's an addict of himself, that's your fault. Now, specifically to the men, because we got to be held to a different standard, nigga. It's accountability. So, at the end of the day, when you're a man, I don't give a fuck if it's your fault or not. If it happened to you and you didn't try to stop it, it's your fault. We can let the broads act like victims and he's talking, but it's no excuses for a man on nothing, nigga. If something happens to you and you let it, nigga, that's on you.
Yeah, that's why I was like, Kid Cudi, get the fuck out of here with that whole. He popped up, threw a Molotov cocktail through my Porsche, and they asked him, well, what did you do? He just said, I just looked at him and said, what the fuck? So to me, that story was kind of iffy.
Yeah, that shit
a grown man
bullshit.
pull up to your house, fuck your dog up, lock your dog up, throw a Molotov through your Porsche, and the only thing you say is, well, he offered me to go have drinks and you didn't do nothing.
Kid Cudi acting like these bitches. That's all he doing. Because at the end of the day, like you said, anybody, you talking about this nigga blew up your car, which they over exaggerated that. Then he say like you basically just walked off and went and got drinks with Cud. Like,
so like what the fuck was you really on?
How mad was you, nigga? This nigga's in your house and all this other shit. Then they trying to make it seem like other people was calling. Like one of the females was with Diddy trying to warn Kid Cudi. Like, that's weird. All that shit didn't make no sense either, like you said. And as a man, like you said, all these niggas got to be held accountable for themselves. Y'all put yourselves in these situations. Y'all been hearing stories about Diddy since the 90s. These parties been going on. Y'all tell me all these people in the industry ain't knowing nothing?
Man.
Like,
they was loving the parties.
I know.
Back again.
You heard Bow Wow? He like, nigga, it's boring as fuck out here, nigga. I need a Diddy party. Shout out to Bow Wow, cuz.
But the only thing I can say is Puffy wasn't fucking with 50 though.
No.
He wasn't trying to
shut that shit down.
Nah, I know, but he wasn't.
He talking about, nigga, you offered me to go shopping. What the fuck? Nigga, I take bitches shopping. What you trying to say?
I mean, he wasn't trying that tough shit with Cud.
Nah, definitely.
How often does a nigga like that make it to that level, though? it's like, 50 is like, man, that's why he's such an anomaly, because he's one of the niggas that's really what he say he is. And that's what you get. You can't have more than 150 in the industry. Nigga, the industry would be, nigga, what?
We need more 50s in the industry.
We need everybody to be 50.
It wouldn't be a lot of this weird shit going on right now.
That's real shit.
I just seen one of the artists that I respected to the core just jump out the window. And I'm like, oh, come on, cuz, don't do this. Papoose and Remy Ma had the internet on fire. Remy been dragging him through the media. She been cheating out in the public with Easy the Block Captain, the battle rapper, for about 2 years. She finally came out. She was posting, like, I guess, a suitcase supposedly put full of Papoose clothes. Like, oh, he broke. Tell him come get his clothes. He keep texting me saying he ain't got nothing to wear, this, that, and the third. I've been taking care of him. Then she mentioned his kids, like, oh, he a deadbeat. He got a son that swing for the other team, so he disowned him. That's why he got Clarissa Shields trying to have another son. Right. So Pat finally gets fed up. He goes on live for about an hour. He got phone recordings, text messages. He pulling up receipt after receipt, airing Remy out. I mean, it went viral. It's on every site right now, every blog site.
Rap got me. Anytime you write a rap for your bitch, you feel body. Like, come on, nigga, you lost.
Yeah. He said he was writing all the raps. And the only reason I'm bringing it up is because I'm thinking about the kids, because I done been in situations similar, or I had homies who've been in situations similar. The guy usually don't say nothing, not out of protecting the woman that's bashing him, but out of protecting the kids. Because I just seen Papoose's daughter, she got involved now. She jumped online and she aired Remy out. So what you think about this? You think it's any win with Pap going online and trying to tell his side of the story, or is it making it worse? To me, it looked like it's making it worse for him.
Man, to me, okay, so I always try to look at things deeper, right? So to me, this is, are you familiar with cluster B personality disorders?
Break that down.
So cluster B personality disorders are basically flaws in personalities caused by trauma in childhood. So some of the disorders are narcissism, histrionic, antisocial behavior disorder. There's a few more, I can't remember all of them. So basically, in my opinion, what's happened is a form of what's called narcissistic mirroring. So a lot of times, women who've been the victim of trauma as kids, meaning maybe they come from a single parent home or an abusive home, a boys' home or, girls' home, shit like that. When they don't have both parents around as a child, normal adolescents get their personalities from both of their parents. They pick up things subconsciously from moms and pops. They use that and they formulate that into a personality, and they build bond that way. So they have a connection with building bonds with people. So the time we spending, that brings us closer as brothers. That makes us respect each other as we hear each other's opinions. You know what I mean? But you have people who didn't have both of those influences, and they don't view commonality as a way to build a connection with a person. They view commonality as a way to get what they want from people. So they'll develop a false personality and a false identity in order to connect with you and get something they want from you. And they'll lay in the pocket for years. So the fact that she was writing his rhymes and basically being a female extension of him in the industry, in my opinion, that's a form of narcissistic mirroring, where she was able to use her pussy to form a bond that really wasn't really a bond. It was just there to get what she wanted from the nigga. And then once she got everything she wanted, she discarded him because he no longer had value. She has the reputation. You know what I'm saying? People know who she is. She's known as an ill rapper and so on and so forth. So she was able to assume his identity by using pussy to do it. You feel what I'm saying? And so this is basically what you call just removing the mask. You ever fuck with a broad or hang with a nigga, and for 2-3 years, it's a solid motherfucker. You're like, this my nigga. Then something happens. Somebody get cracked, something go on, and then it's a whole different motherfucker you dealing with. It's not a new person. It's they finally are being who they really are. Before, they were being who they needed to be to get what they wanted from you. You feel what I'm saying? So in my opinion, he's on the other side of realizing that, oh shit, I feel like he was genuinely feeling like I found a wife. This is a woman I love. And I feel like he was duped, not understanding these elements of, someone who was mentally ill.
And it's crazy because how intelligent Pap is and the type of things that he knows. He's way smarter than the average person, I would say, in my opinion. And I just think, like you said, a lot of times people can be blinded by love, or like you said, she just became who she eventually wanted to be. Maybe prison could have changed a lot of things for her. Like he said, she was already dabbling with females, and he went in context of that, like she not fucking him and she going to sleep in the room with the bitch, and he's being too cool in a sense where she wants to even do things like not hang out with him on the birthdays that they plan together and all type of stuff. So
that's one thing.
The signs was there. I just think like in his mind, he was suffering in silence over keeping his family under the same roof, like you said, of not having those parents or why they still in school, because once it hits the media, this is the things he was trying to prevent. So I don't see him to keep going, doing the back and forth. I just think he had to finally speak his piece, because how does a man choose to defend himself, especially if she's still having narcissistic ways and reaching out to him, still trying to fuck with him, asking him like, is you really over me and shit like that? Because maybe he fucked up because she done cheated on him before and he took her back. We know once it gets to that point, it's over with. You got to let her go, and he's staying attached for the family, but a lot of times the relationship is only going to get worse, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't think no pussy in the world is worth taking a woman back after she cheated. And people called me crazy when I said this, but Papoose was a prime example of a man can't love his woman more than she loves him, because he loved her way more than she loved him. I'm talking about he just had a $1.5 million record deal. He was on pace.
He was
to
on a
be
break.
The next superstar in New York. He put all of that on pause when she went to jail. He said when she went to prison, he went broke. He ran through all the money trying to visit her every day, keep her books paid every day, paying all the bills, taking care of the stepkids as well, her kids, that's not even his kids. So he just put his whole life on pause for her, and she got out and did this. It's
mind blowing.
It's mind blowing because I had respect for Remy before she went in. We was looking at Remy like, damn,
Remy one of the ones. When she came out, she had the all the way up. We like, oh, they on. And they was on some real Bonnie and Clyde shit. You would have thought.
But let me ask you a question though. What if you had a homie, and years later you find out everything he was saying to you, somebody else wrote it? Did you really?
No, he was writing her.
Was writing her.
So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
This is.
Oh, okay. You said like from her.
Even beyond her rapping thing, because I didn't know that was going on. But yeah, I would look at her pen different. But her as a woman, we thought she was like a gangster bitch that was solid. She was 100 for a nigga. You know what I'm saying? He stood down for you. You come home, y'all got the little family. He got the black love shit going on too much. And I think he was overly presenting that to the point where she started despising him or resenting him, or just go to the point of what you said. She probably never really cared that deep for him. It was just what she can get from him. And I always tell people this: women are only loyal to their feelings. The moment you stop making her feel away, regardless, and if he woke up and decided to like stand in his own power, that feeling that she got from him is over with. Now she's lashing out and being who she is.
He was too loyal.
Some ain't capable of love. You feel me? Some people, that's something you taught.
He said K Slay warned him though before they got together.
Yeah,
that's why she talked bad on Slay, because Slay told her like, hey man, I know her from around the way. She get around. This is not something you want a wife. Have fun with it. And Pap went against that warning. And now he's bringing it back up going, well, this is why you be trashing K Slay. But I always told men, I'm telling you, females operate in chaos. If you don't provide some type of chaos in their life, some type of excitement, they're gonna go find it somewhere else. She went and found it in battle rap, fucking Easy to Block Captain. I never heard nobody in prison say they had to tell they significant other to stop visiting. That's how much he was going to go see her. So in my mind, she's in jail looking at him like a lame, like nigga, you don't have nothing going on. You here every day? You ain't got no bitches. You ain't got no studio time. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
And that's even crazy.
He played himself out of the marriage.
But she taking away. If she really was fucking with that bitch in jail, the bitch in jail probably on her ass. Bitch in jail, like, man, tell me stop coming to see you every week, nigga. And y'all married. Y'all probably getting conjugals. Like, god damn, that's crazy. Like, you gotta be a cold motherfucker. But it get like that. Hopefully he learned his lesson, because he's low key diving in the same way with the approach with Clarissa. That's her name, right?
Clarissa beat him up.
Yeah. They say Pat got a little wobble on, you know. Yeah.
Put Easy down. They said he knocked his ass out.
And he said that wasn't his first demo. Like, Remy know how he get down. I just think Pap is so calm, cool, and collective. He has a lot of emotional intelligence and a lot of, like you said, without that chaos, it's like you ain't creating no excitement in their life. Like,
but that's a part of that. You know that, right? Is that whole cluster B shit, that narcissism shit. They try to destroy shit. You know, one of the like the easy things to see, like to know if somebody has that type of, like if they really got it. People who ruin holidays, birthdays. You know, that's one sign. A motherfucker always getting into it with you on your birthday, or it's always some drama when it's something that's centered around anything outside of them. Because they want, no matter what, they need that feel. Because it's an emptiness they have, and they got to fill that void with anything. And drama's the best way to do it. But if a motherfucker is like that, it's always going to be worse. It's going to take more and more drama. That's why if you ever been into it with a bitch, y'all might start off arguing. Then it may get a little physical. Then before you know it, you got the bitch in a headlock. Before you know it, y'all firing on each other.
They want that. They want the fight to fucking make up. And it's crazy because they really just, what they call them, the energy vampires. They draining your energy. And this is why a lot of these women, where you see, because Remy low-key like kind of masculine. So she's taking on his masculine energy, because you could be around a woman too much and start to lose yours. And now you're feeding off the masculine energy that she's taking from you. You needing that from her. And this is what they call that shit now, like the Jezebel spirit and stuff like that. Like,
she definitely got that.
Yeah, so that, and niggas get caught up in that, and you thinking you in love, but it's really you feeding for your own energy. Like, you need to go recenter yourself somewhere.
Yeah, he said the final straw was, they had the chick sleeping over.
Tasted dick on her breath. Man. Whose dick is this I'm tasted in your mouth, bitch?
He said he knocked the nigga out, not because he fucked her, because you shook my hand and then fucked her. So he's like, that was disrespectful. You was fucking my wife, fuck me. Just fuck my wife, but don't come to me, shake my hand like we cool, and then behind my back, you knocking her down. But he said the final straw was that bitch who used to be sleeping over. He finally woke up one day like, why does bitch keep going in other rooms sleeping with her? And she was fucking her in the bed with the baby, like in the bed. And that's when he was like, all right, it's over. I gotta pull the cord. You ain't got no fucking limits. Basically.
The goal is to kill you or drive you crazy. That's
fact. Destroy you, then go find her next Vic. Cuz easy finna be the next Vic. But they say Cuz got some like blackmail shit on her, so that's why she in pocket right now.
Nah,
but
for sure.
Cuz will be swallowed up next.
You know who Vlad the Impaler is?
Yeah, of course. Yep.
Yeah, so that's why he did, the story about him killing everybody?
Yeah.
That's why he did it. You know what I mean? That's really the only way to deal with motherfuckers like that. Because once you get to a certain level of consciousness, and you have a certain level of emotion, you start realizing it's more motherfuckers like that than regular motherfuckers. They everywhere.
Now that's facts.
So
spiritual warfare.
Basically, Thanos was right, is what you're saying. He had it right. We need to snap, and half of these motherfuckers need to be gone.
I mean, that's some cruel shit to say, man, but, it's like, certain trauma, man. I mean, in the wild, when, wildebeest and all these hunted animals is migrating, the lions is hunting the weak ones, the old ones, the babies. That's how they get rid of the ones that aren't strong enough to be with the pack. Unfortunately, with us, we protect the weak. You know what I mean? And I don't mean the weak as in physically weak. I mean people, child molesters. I mean motherfuckers that don't really deserve to be amongst us. We allow them to exist. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to keep having these type of issues socially because of that.
No, I agree. Well, the law protects them because people like us, we ready to, hey, firing squad, put the motherfuckers right there. You feel me? Off with their heads. But these laws is crazy. What you think about California, right? Because his big, beautiful bill passed, right? I think it was 215 to 214. So it passed by one vote. They got the no tax on overtime, the no tax on tips. That's the biggest key of the bill that most people are looking at because that's what's affecting them directly to their knowledge. It's like 1,000 pages of legislation, but that's the biggest.
On overtime.
Yeah, you got to make under 160 or 150. Don't quote me on the exact number, but if you're considered a high earner it doesn't apply to you. And the tips have to be voluntarily. So you can't work somewhere where the tips is worked into the pay. Like, oh, this is a party of 15 percentage. It has to be an option of saying no. Like a
motherfucker. all the restaurants.
Nigga, every restaurant. Hey, some restaurants you walk in like, it's 4 black niggas. Hey, put that percentage on there.
And you know these niggas be having like the 15, 25, 30. They be having 30 on your shit. Your car just drew down.
That's some real shit.
But California voted unanimously no. Pretty much no Democrat anywhere voted yes on that. What you think about that? Because, you know, our state, even with the gas, like gas is about $5 right now. They say by the end of the year, it should be totaling out around $8 because two refineries are leaving. Because, you know, we got the strictest laws against the oil business and emissions. They want everything green. They want all the oil gone. So oil companies are leaving.
Right.
So now our gas prices are going up while the rest of the country is going down. How the fuck do people survive in California?
So the tax thing passed though, right? So
it went through. So up until 2028, because you know once Trump is out, then you got to re-vote it to double it back. So,
man, here's the thing: racism is the competition for wealth and resources between groups of people. So economically, black people, we think in terms of individualism or existentialism, and that's not good when you're dealing in business. Now, existentialism, which is the freedom of independent expression, to be yourself, to be a nigga with a green mohawk, or to be a nigga that got one Nike on and one Reebok. That's cool in the arts, but in the world of economics, we have to come together to fight these types of oppressive things. You know what I'm saying? So it's really about pooling our money. So if we pool our money and we practice group economics, then these things don't necessarily affect us as harshly as they will based on the way we act now. So, you know, for example, it's like, you know, it ain't really a lot of black neighborhoods no more. I'm from Pasadena, right? But when I was growing up, you know, my whole section was all black, whole from block to block. We talking about thousands, 40, 50,000 people, all black. And everybody knew each other. And we talking about the late 80s, early 90s. So in that era, if a motherfucker couldn't afford the gas, I'll just walk up the street and ride with the homie and his mom.
Right.
Or, you know, couple blocks up, you know, Lil Rito and, you know, his mama got a van. We all going to her, you know what I'm saying? So that really don't exist no more. So it's really a matter of, I guess, strategy. And figuring out how to get around a group of like-minded people where you could, you know, kind of put your money together and do something, you know, that can negate the attack on us. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, I mean, that's really the only way I can see really dealing with it. You know what I'm saying? Me as a man, I mean, I'm going to be all right, but I think about the single mom with 3-4 kids, you know, one little Toyota Corolla, you know, and, you know, $8 a gallon on gas, that's going to kill her. And the only way she going to really be able to survive is if she's smart enough to, you know, find a couple other people and figure some shit out. But if we keep doing it the way we've been doing it, I mean, what can we do but be victims?
They gonna have to join OnlyFans. That's what you're gonna start seeing.
You're gonna see a lot of OnlyFans, but then you like you said, and I think he's trying to get rid of food stamps and everything else. But what's crazy, it's a point that bro always make about people just standing up together, and they like us to think. They say we the minorities. I still feel like we the majorities. I think they want us to think that, and I also believe that most people don't think at all. So they make people think for people. So as soon as they pass something and they tell them this is what's going on, there's nobody gonna question it. So the example is I'm getting at is like if everybody just stopped going to work, or everybody stopped paying taxes, or everybody stopped as a collective, that is going to be a bigger impact than you thinking that your vote matters, or they going to tell you need to go to your city or your local town and vote and get bills passed and changed. They're creating and making these. They don't care about your vote, in my opinion. Niggas just be stupid. But if we all did that as a collective, and they're going to say, well, somebody else is going to come get you. Somebody else going to come tow your car. Well, if we all as a group collectively do that, with, I mean, predominantly blacks and Latinos come together and stop going to work or stop paying taxes and stop doing these things, who else is going to help out? Because if you got a tow company, well, that tow company not going to work either. And if people are at these stores or anything other than that, they're gonna have no way to combat that without getting right. And I think I forgot what state that was. We talked about it before. They had changed like some bills or raised taxes on them, man. They stopped all their cars on the freeway. I think that same or next day they changed that bill immediately and went back to normal.
It's crazy. I was just thinking that. I was just about to say that when you finished. I think it was China. They had, I forget I think they put a new tax on the roads or something. They did something like that when they raised one of their taxes.
Everybody parked their cars on the freeway, got out and walked and left
the car there for like 3-4 days. They was like, we're not moving the cars until y'all remove the tax. And it worked. They took the tax away. You can look the whole story up. So there's power and strength in numbers, which is why they focus on the divide and conquer.
That's multiculturalism is a scapegoat, man. So, we the only group, as far as black people at this point who don't really understand that, in the connection to power. You know what I mean? I was talking to my homie the other day. I said, I done bought hundreds of pairs of Jordans. I done bought all kind of nice watches. I done bought a lot of different things from people who weren't black. But how many times in my life has someone that wasn't black made a significant purchase from me? It's never happened. I ain't never sold a pair of J's to a Chinese dude. Or maybe I have one. Maybe I haven't done. Let's say anything over 1,000, like a significant, but nobody of any other race has ever came and made a significant purchase from me that I could think of. You know what I mean? And I would say that's the experience of most 99.99% of black people. But every major purchase that we've made, I want to say, I'll go as high as saying 80% of the major purchases we make in life aren't from people who look like us. And, that's not to cause separatism, but it's a reason why others don't come buy from us. And that's because they circulate their money within their community. But we have something in our programming. I don't know if it's because of the Bible. I don't know if it's because of religion, where we feel guilt doing the right thing for ourselves. It feels like, you understand what I'm saying? It's like,
you feel like you've been so fucked up. You feel like if anything else is going outside of that, you're going against your programming. Like they got our minds so twisted, like you said, to where you're progressing, you're automatically starting to expect something else to go wrong, or you want that feeling of something to where you got something to complain about now.
That's real shit, because you can be any race, open up a business in the middle of a black neighborhood. Your business is gonna boom. If you're black and open up your business in the middle of one of their neighborhoods, you're going out of business same month. It's over. It's a wrap. They probably never even come to they probably come to your store just to be calling, hey, they're going against the
because we don't even care about who's running the business. All we think we care about is what products is in there. Yes, exactly. What's in here? Is this an exchange for goods and services that I want? Okay, I'm gonna go get it. So that's
I agree, man. And that's they stripped us of our identity. And that's one thing that hip hop and all that was supposed to be. But, we end up selling that, fucking that off.
We just had a conversation about the identity, right? So I wanted to ask you about that because, there's a whole movement going on over the past, I say like 10 years of people saying, we should stop identifying as black people because black in the eyes of the law means dead. It means civilly dead in the eyes of the law. So by us calling ourselves black, we're essentially saying we don't even have civil or human rights.
I mean,
so what you think about that?
Well, black is a false identity. It's not real. There's no black country in the world. So from that perspective, I agree. You know what I'm saying? And it's also a brand of labor. Like polo is a brand of clothing. Black is a brand of labor. So, this society doesn't view black culturally or, as something that is connected to skin color. That's strictly a brand of labor that has a certain value that's going to do a certain type of work. And if it doesn't do that certain type of work or goes against the system, like during the civil rights movement, then we change the laws and we have an influx of another brand of labor to replace that brand that's no longer good enough for us, which would be
the immigrants.
The immigrants. Mexicans were brought in to replace us, even though this, being in California and on the West Coast, this was their shit first. Under the American flag, we were the first laborers that built everything for free. And that was our identity as laborers. And then once we came into our consciousness, you know what I'm saying? Then they replaced us with them. And now they're replacing second and third generation Mexican Americans with illegal Mexicans to do the work that they used to do. And now there's strife in their community between the ones that have been here and the new ones that are replacing them. So, multiculturalism is a scapegoat. It's just there so rich people don't have to pay us what they owe us. That's the economics of it. But most people will never understand that because they never get past a laborer's mentality. They allow the system to connect culture and identity to being a class of labor. Now people are okay with saying that Mexicans work harder than blacks when that is not true. Mexicans work very hard, but that identity of working harder also comes with the tag of making less money. You never hear somebody saying that's a middle class lawyer that these type of lawyers work harder than these other type of lawyers, because at the end of the day, that class of labor, they don't work hard. They don't give a fuck about working hard. It's about using your brain. So,
work smarter, not harder.
So we just been put in a situation where, then it's the other science of it too. It's like these white folks are so studied, man. They understand neurotransmitters. They understand the speed of information in relation to the speed of understanding. So meaning they know how to program and set out propaganda in a way where by the time you understand what's really going on, it's too late.
They got you.
They already on to the next thing.
You feel me? That's how they disseminate it. So regardless of how fucked up the messaging is, you done already lost a decade. It took you your 20s and going to the pen to realize what it was. And no matter what you tell a motherfucker, if they ain't been through enough and don't understand enough, you can give them the game, but because of those neurotransmitters and the way this shit work, it don't matter what you tell them. It's still going to be another 10 years before they be like, oh, that nigga, the viral weight niggas, oh my God, you feel me? And that's just what it is. That's why all these niggas jump on all these bullshit podcasts with niggas gossiping and talking about bullshit and gang shit. That's because that's the level that they vibrating on right now. It's really nothing you can do about that. The only thing that can snap you out of that is some type of drama, getting shot or going to the pen and being around real motherfucking monsters and getting socked out of the bullshit.
You gotta literally get knocked into a new frequency. You gotta really get hit. You gotta really get hit into something else. But to piggyback off of that, it's crazy because it makes me think when you think about like us being free. They say this the land of the free and all that, but we're never truly free. They will allow you to make X amount of money, but they still will control you to an extent. And even thinking about that, we appease with, holidays, or they give us Black History Month. Like we the only ones with a black, ain't no White History Month, ain't no Mexican History Month. Oh yeah, we're gonna give y'all Juneteenth. Like this is what y'all get. Like you said, from all that labor, from all that suffering, everything else. I didn't get the messages or the memos to agree to that, but we all agree to it, and that's what's gonna keep pushing us forward. Even when you think about that being free, like when I think about, I had looked up my name, like my last name and shit. Slave owner name. They gave me my name. Like regardless if I want to carry on my legacy, I'm not even carrying on my own legacy when I think about it. I'm carrying on their legacy. Right. From names that came from our colonizers that they gave to the slaves, and it passed down from a lot of people from the South, and it came down here to where we at in California. So I had to sit back and really think about that. And I'm like, damn, should I change my last name? Because I'm not even pushing that, and their shit is still living on. That's how much damage and stuff they done. Like you said, of now we need to go back into history and learn your bloodlines and learn everything that we get. They gave us our identities.
And they got us permanently off balance, dog. I'm telling you, it's really about some point either getting up out this country or you got to get off the grid, man. There's a doctor who I'm really a big fan of. His name is Dr. Andrew Huberman. Are you familiar with this? He's a white boy.
I don't think I heard of him.
Professor at Stanford, right? So he did a study on light exposure, right? And I think it's a very interesting thing that we should all know about, right? Because, our bodies, based on the studies, our bodies are programmed to circadian rhythms. Meaning when the sun comes up, the sun goes down, it causes a natural hormonal excretion of certain hormones in our body based on the sun. So when the sun goes down, it releases, we excrete melatonin into our system. That's supposed to calm us down, get us ready to go to bed. You know what I'm saying? Then in the morning when the sun comes up, it releases serotonin into our system. That's supposed to be like that's
to give you the energy.
That's to give you the energy. Bam. So what happens with us, especially living in the city, we get exposed to artificial light. So our hormonal balance is off. So when we're supposed to be asleep, we have all these artificial lights going on. Lights like this, lights on the strip, you know what I'm saying? Just in general, street lights, lights from a PlayStation, lights from a TV. That causes a hormonal imbalance because now our body, when it's supposed to just be releasing melatonin into the system, it's releasing serotonin as well. So you have this off-balanceness. That's why niggas is popping niggas at night and getting into squabbles and beating a bitch up and stealing. It's because our bodies are out of sequence because of all this artificial light. But that's something that a nigga would never land on them. Damn, maybe I should turn the TV off and be in the dark for the next 12 hours.
That's why they tell you don't scroll like at least an hour before the bed because that blue light does exactly what you're saying.
Exactly.
It ruins all of that. Because there was another study I seen, and this was a study from way back, I want to say maybe like the 50s, where they used to look at indigenous tribes that don't really wear as much clothes as us, right? Like they damn near basically nude, and they would study the males and they go, man, their testosterone levels are off the charts. So like, what the fuck is the difference between them and us? And the study literally said like your testicles were supposed to be basically exposed to the sunlight a certain amount of time a day. Like I think it was around like at least like 30 minutes or something. And they did the study where they had some males who was from here, just regular, and then they started exposing themselves to the light that way. And they saw that their testosterone levels went up like, I think like 200%, and it stayed up for like 30 days at a time.
Yeah.
When they killed the exposure.
Yeah.
So you look at them like the Dogon tribes in Africa, and you look at the big 7-foot monsters, and it make you think like, damn, are we really capping ourselves with all of this artificial? Cause don't even get into the type of fabrics that's on your skin that causes negative reactions in the body. That's a whole nother rabbit hole. But what you think about that? You ever looked at that study?
No, but I think that, that would be accurate. I think if we were getting what we were supposed to be getting, then everybody would be Shaq size. You know how hard it would be for them to deal with us if everybody was Shaq size?
This would be a problem.
Nah, it's a problem. Nah, that's fact. It's crazy because we talk about that, and I was like, damn, when you think about niggas before in the 80s and the early 90s when Tookie and them was coming up, niggas was 15, 16, but niggas was huge, like grown men. Yeah. You rarely even see niggas get that big now. Even when they pumping iron or fucking with weights and shit like that. There's so much stuff in the food and everything else. And I'm just like, man, and the testosterone, you could tell by a man handshake where his testosterone is at, by a firm grip or not. Most niggas they'll shake your hand and be soft as a bitch. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you grab a nigga hand, they like, damn, what's wrong with you? But you just, exactly. Yeah. So you be like,
looking at you strange for having a firm
grip. It's like, damn, like that shit crazy. But I'll pay attention to small body language like that, and you start to see the difference. And it's crazy to go back with the sun thing you was talking about, like, because I was sick the other day. And I try my hardest to stay away from like medicine unless I'm really like fucked up or feeling it. So I'm fucked up, I'm asleep, but I'm just like, let me go outside, sun beaming. So I just go, I do just some little sun gaze, and people thinking I'm crazy. Like, why this nigga just looking at the sun? But
this nigga NPC,
nah, but that's so insane. Right after, I sat out there for like 30 minutes, and then I must have just like zoned out, like cleared my mind, walked away. Later that day, I was back good. I felt like I had hella energy, you know what I'm saying? Without food, without nothing else either. So I think a lot of the natural remedies they take away from us too, and they fucking us off with the stuff they putting in these foods. Because now I heard they was even putting, I ain't even gonna go down that rabbit hole because the
stuff in the food.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
giving it to you basically against your will. Type shit.
Like so they trying to make sure everybody getting it. So
got it. So
yeah, like subconscious programming was a lot of the stuff he was talking about. We like to push that message out there a lot where people don't understand the certain images, and the content you're intaking is literally programming you to become a certain way without you knowing it. And with the kids, literally, before they can talk, they got a tablet or they got a phone. They're already being programmed a certain way before they even go to school. Because we used to have to wait to go to school, and then the teachers will program you up. But now your kids are fucked off even before you go to school.
Right.
And then you can't discipline the kids no more. They took corporal punishment out the home. What is your advice to parents on how to combat what's going on with the teenagers now? Because the kid won't listen to nothing. When we was growing up, your neighbors would beat your ass if you was doing some shit.
You got to homeschool. I mean, if you can, you got to homeschool your kids. I think that's really the only way, because energy never dies; it transfers. The law of thermodynamics. So, no matter what you teach them, if you put them in an environment where it's not the way you want them to go, you know, some of that other shit gonna rub off on them. You know what I mean? You know, so I think it's really best to keep them under your tutelage as long as you can.
Now, when you say homeschool, who's doing the teaching?
Well, I mean, I guess...
Because you know the parents is dumb as hell.
Yeah.
So when people say homeschool, I'm like, who's doing the teaching? Because most of the people I know, or most of the parents I know, they can't even do the work their kids is doing right now.
Yeah, that's real shit.
So it's like, who the fuck is going to be doing the teaching? Because they dumb as hell. They already programmed.
They finna set them up with ChatGPT.
That's real shit.
Get your iPad. They get the same thing they doing watching them games. They ain't even gonna do that. Now they don't care if their kids is learning or producing in a certain way. And you see a lot of parents now, they like, nigga, I'm living for me. Like they don't give a fuck about the kids no more. Yeah. It's crazy out here. I seen that that lady, what's her name? Megan Fox. And she was talking about her kid was wearing, her little boy was wearing dresses at 2. How does a 2-year-old get access to a dress at 2? You talking about he knew he was gay already. That's
groomed him pretty much.
Exactly. You went and bought him. He ain't going to go find it. Like ain't no 2-year-old just thinking about putting on a damn dress. This the things and these the propagandas that we be talking about. Like the bitch got to be crazy. Then she drink blood and shit. Like that bitch is wild as fuck. Yeah. So I'm just like, but we see, and then these people look up and idolize these celebrities. And I think a bigger part was a lot of misunderstood that I learned is nobody, I don't say nobody, but nobody takes serious about having faith in a higher power or believing in God or getting connected to that. Because if you did, at least some things in your instincts or your spirit to let you know, like, I don't need to be moving this way, or some things ain't sitting right with me. And I think a lot of people just negate that. And now it's the almighty dollar. That's it. You got to think it's a fucking piece of paper. I was thinking about that with myself. Like, I used to really just risk my life. Like the paper was more valuable than my life. Like piece of fucking paper, nigga. Yeah. I'm ready to go do 100 years. I'm ready to do all this other shit. Literally ready to die to go get some money, taking these type of risks. Right. And you like, damn, your life don't mean shit. But not knowing that my melanin is worth more than gold. And I'm equating this to a piece of fucking paper that they print out. Right. Like that shit is crazy.
That's real shit. Yeah, I think you really got to take it into your own hands, though. So, you know, I mean, I really feel like homeschooling if you can. If not, then you have to be as present as you possibly can. Be up at that school, fucking with them teachers. Your kids' peer group got to know who you are. You got to be popping up, making it uncomfortable. You just got to be a presence so anybody dealing with your child understands that there's consequences to not doing right by them, and then your child has to understand that it's going to be consequences for them not doing the best they can do for themselves. You know, so, but it's really no healthy way to integrate into a sick society. You feel me? So, at the end of the day, you just got to make do. You know what I'm saying? With what it is. You know what I mean? And just have faith and be the best motherfucker you can be. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. Off the grid sound good until your ass is really off the grid. Yeah. You out there, you gotta hunt, you gotta do everything for yourself, and most people can't even change your fucking spare tire
with no microwave.
The only thing
a hot pocket, nigga, try to get that chicken wing, nigga. You gotta gut the chicken and defeather it. Nigga, like fuck that, cuz I'm going to Popeyes. I'm cool.
I think a lot of things too. Even though I don't have kids, but from outside looking in, when I see people, you just got to prepare them for the world that's cold already. Like, you have to lace them so they be aware, not necessarily teach them cold things, but to know the difference, because you can know all good and think you a good person until you've been in a position where you have to do something that people feel like is bad.
People eat people when they get hungry enough.
That's crazy.
Man, people eat people when they believe in certain energies that they get from eating people. Because I just saw a fucking article. One of those, damn, I should have pulled it up. I forget his damn name. He worked at one of those, I think it was a morgue. He just pleaded guilty to selling body parts, like on the black market. You know, people eat people. They eat organs and they believe
they want our organs. That's why a lot of these black kids and stuff, they be coming to find out they've been switched out at birth. You don't know what happened to them, or even when you think about it, like all these damn, I want to say not funerals, but yeah, funerals or funeral homes. You think it's that many bodies in there? And then you think people ain't never digging them up to check them caskets. How y'all even know after they go do all that, they ain't coming back to get them organs? Yeah. Or if they cleaning all that out. But it's just, that shit get deep when you think about it.
And what makes us black is melanin, right?
Yeah, the melanin.
If you're albino, black person. Are you black?
We the only
That's
black
crazy.
people. We the only ones with
That's like a mutation, right?
Yeah, because we like the only ones with like 100% DNA, right? Of black people. Then other people got like the Neanderthal shit in them and all that. So they know this type of stuff
That's
too.
why they get the wet dog smell.
Right,
Because it's in their
crazy.
DNA. So
Yeah.
you're like, how do all of y'all smell like this? Because like something got to be going on.
But you got to know how to wash up or something. They wasn't even using the damn the wash up rags, a loofah or something. Get you something.
To bathe in the same
shit they
bowl
pissed in.
Yeah, that
The
shit
more
crazy. We
civilized
taught them how to do all that.
exactly.
That's what's crazy.
Exactly. What y'all think about this? I was low key thinking about this the other day. Because you know your thoughts create your reality. We all know that. What you think, you become. And the advice we're always given is live below your means. Save. Basically live like a thriftful type of lifestyle so you can excel. But what I notice is the people who do that, they never excel because you spend the whole time looking at how you can not save money, but be cheap. I've never seen nobody get rich by being cheap, and I've never seen nobody get rich by saving. I've only seen people get rich by either investing, getting some land, some type of business. I've never seen nobody save a paycheck to millionaire status, especially with inflation. The more you save, the more you lose in a sense, as the value of your dollar decreases. So what y'all think about that? Because they tell you, oh, like live below your means. Why would you live below your means? You're supposed to believe like, nigga, I can attain anything in this world that I want. But they program us to think you can't.
I think it's developing like they say. They talk about certain laws of the universe and like everything is just energy. So you really just attracting the money. And I think a lot of us that be in poverty, you stuck in poverty because you have a poverty mindset. But if you ever think about if you hustling or if you really in the streets or even if you going to work, if you're thinking mostly money, you have that money consciousness, you're attracting a lot of different avenues. You might get somebody to call you randomly out the blue, like, hey, I got to play for you or certain things. And I feel like that's the sequence of the money you're attracting by having a money consciousness. But like you said, when I'm worrying about my last 20 and I don't know what to spend this on, you fuck around, lose your wallet, lose the 20 anyway. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It's kind of hard to master because the mind, you based off things of what you see in front of you. So it's hard to think outside of the environment, but that's, I believe, what the key is of seeing yourself outside of that and keeping those thoughts to the forefront. But it's hard when you motherfucking hungry and your stomach touching your back and you like, damn, nigga, I'm trying to make some money come out of thin air. But I think it's about attracting it. How y'all feel about it? Yeah.
No, I agree. I think it's really that. And I think it's just about creating. You know what I'm saying? You have to be surrounded by things that were once in your head. Like every direction you turn, you should be able to see something that was once a thought that you made a reality. I don't give a fuck if it's a poem. I don't give a fuck if it's a motherfucking sculpture. I don't care what it is. Every day you have to take what's inside of you and make it a tangible, because those are the things that you are going to need to remind you of whatever it is that you need to be convinced of in that moment. Because we all have moments of weakness, but without tangibles or a tangible expression of who you are, you'll depend on the opinions of others. And their opinions of you are going to be jaded by their perception, by, interactions that you may have had that they didn't like, so you just need to be surrounded by you. The more things you create, the more proof it is that you are what you say you are. And I mean, we're all gods having a human experience. So what makes us gods is not really that we can fly and do incredible shit. It's the fact that we can create, we can build, you know what I mean? So, to me, that's the main thing to get to that paper, because money is temporary, but the ideas we create, when you separate yourself from your ideas, you put yourself in a position where you can always have action at having limitless money. You know what I mean?
I just think that's a trick, man. I'm telling you, because I've worked with guys. These guys been in this company 40 years. These guys have worked at this company longer than I've been alive. They've never taken one vacation ever. They're maxed out on vacation time. You're like, damn, man, you got money, you got a house. Where you been in the world? These dudes don't even own a passport. They don't even take a vacation day from work. They pride themselves on perfect attendance, and they live below their means. They literally do nothing with their money other than the house that they bought and sending their kids to college. So I'm like, damn, on your deathbed, when you look back, the only fucking thing you did in life was work, pay for a house, and pay for college. You didn't do shit in life. But they was programmed with the live below your mean mindset. They have this fear of going broke. Like all the old timers I talk to, they just focus on, man, my 401k, my pension, my this and that, but never did they try to create anything outside of the job. It was from day one, okay, 40 years from now, I should have $1 million. I'm like, God damn, 40 years to create $1 million, and that's your exit route? And that's most of America. That's some scary shit to really think about.
That's most workers. Like I told this before. I remember I went to a job, and the dude, he had been there like 40 years. I think he was just about to turn 65 or something. That's when, was retirement 65 at the time? What is it now? It changed, right?
It's death now, but it was 55.
It was like 55.
Now.
Well, he was like 6 months or 3 months about to get into his retirement shit, and they changed it. He was sick. Came to work again, like he thought he was finna be done with work, and he like, damn, I gotta work another 5-10 more years until he retire. And it's like you said, I'm like, damn, you don't own the company, you don't have no assets into it. I just think it's bigger. I think it's part of the design of what they wanted. Like they said, they put us in schools. They wanted to teach us what they wanted to teach us, to become slave workers. They never wanted us to be bosses or to think outside of yourself. So now that's where most people are at a point. But you get a lot of the younger generation, like we talked about before, that's trying to low-key go against the matrix with that. They're not trying to be the slaves for 40, 50 years. Like, what type of life is that? And that's why I understand why some people hustle and do everything else in the streets. Because it's like, damn, I'm better living on my terms and trying to get rich versus me slaving for somebody and building their dreams. And that's why more people got to go after the things you want to do, like you said, because you create something tangible. And now you're more proud of yourself. You built something, because everything we look at was a thought first. It's like, right. So what is really real? Because this mic, somebody had to think of it, right, design it in their mind, and then bring it to life. And I feel like once we start to stay on those type of times, I feel like that's when the God within us makes us bring that into the real world, into a reality. It's like, that's how you manifest it. I remember they said, it was this study they did. They was like, start small, because it's the belief that helps it is the key. So start maybe with a cup of coffee. Just think about a cup of coffee or something, and keep thinking about that and trying to manifest a cup of coffee. And next thing you know, a random person might just come, or you might be at home, your wife or your kids or somebody like just might ask you, do you want some coffee? And you have to be aware of in real time that these are the things you were trying to manifest, and not worrying about how it's going to come. Because a lot of us would be like, man, I didn't see it coming that way. Right. But everything you was asking for came to you, right, but you didn't receive it. So
there's counterbalance too, man, because money was created so you can accept a value less than your actual value. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, if you say I'm gonna work for $30 an hour, you know what I mean, that puts them in a position to say, okay, yeah, this is what we can get for 30. But if you're worth 400, how are you ever gonna figure that out unless you are creating something that's worth that? You get what I'm saying? Because we just are normal. I mean, in the normal way of shit, we just accept what's given to us. Whatever that is. It's like we have a list of options, list of water we could drink, a list of shoes we could buy. You know what I mean? And we just accept what's given to us, and it feels like a choice. So creating is one of the only ways to actually make a choice. And it's a way to break the cycle, because now you're empowering yourself to walk away from things that don't match the value you've assessed to yourself. You know what I mean? You know, that's why all artists always talk about, you know, when they quit that job or made enough money to leave that job. It ain't nobody walking away from a job that doesn't have something that they've created of equal or greater value to walk into. You know what I'm saying? So creation is gonna give you that. It's gonna give you that strength, man. I'm telling you, to do shit that you didn't think you could possibly do.
Right.
Yeah, it's like knowing your worth, or you're only worth what they pay you. If you don't put a number on yourself or a value on yourself, whatever they throw to you, that's what you're worth. And I just be sitting, man, I'm telling you, I don't smoke or nothing, but I just be sitting back thinking, like, everything they low key told us to live by, programmed us to fuck us off. They tell you time is money. Money's made up. They make it out of thin air. It's paper. Your time you could never get back. So your time is actually more valuable than money. Facts. But we're selling it for $1 amount. Like, what's minimum wage right now? Like 17 bucks.
17, 18.
Like you selling 8 hours a day of your life, you never getting back for $17. And then no 1-bedroom apartment, no studio, no house, no nothing you can afford off of that wage. So you're accepting under a living wage for time that's invaluable. There's no value on time. You can never get it back. That shit's mind blowing. Who you sit down and think about, like, they got us fucked up.
Nah, they do.
CIA putting belt to ass right now.
They've been whooping feet forever. But then it's like never allow somebody to dictate your worth, because it's never the same. I'll give a couple of examples, like this water right here on the table. Like I said, it might be worth $2 right here. You might go up the block to a store, it might be worth $4. Man. You go to an airport, they sell that motherfucker for $10, $20. Yeah. You paying a high for it. Even that's like
the water.
Yeah, that's you.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But even when you think about things like that, and I'll give an example about a car. You get an old school car. The old school car might not be worth nothing. Say a 67 Mustang. You go to a dealership and they might offer you $5,000 for it. You go to another person, they don't care. They like it's junk. But then you go to a person that's dealing with only old schools and might be, I'll give you $100,000 for that. Like, so your worth depends on where it's at and who sees the benefit of that, because everything might not be worth the same. If I like guns and you try to come sell me a fucking camera, nigga, you're not going to get shit from me for that camera. Like, but you bring me a special pistol, I might cash you out for that. So you got to know where to place your value and don't just take no for an answer, in my opinion. Because we give up too easy. As soon as a motherfucker get one no, it's over with. nigga,
bars. Hey, I got a question though. What's your critique on the comedy game right now? Because I grew up in the era of Comic View, where I was up on a school night, 10 o'clock, watching some of the best comics in the world. I watch comedy now. It went from dudes just doing skits, and then because they funny on a 30-second Instagram reel, they think they can do stand-up. And when they do the stand-up, you like, nigga, this ain't Instagram. This shit not funny. I don't really see comics pushing themselves or being creative anymore. I'm like, is comedy dying out?
Nah, it's evolving, man. So, all art forms go through this, where it's just evolving into something different because of social media. It was a time, 100 years ago when the word comedian didn't even exist in the art form. A good comedian was called a good liar. You told if you was funny, you were a good liar. You were called a comedian. Then it evolved, and they had these vaudeville shows and these blackface shows where comedy was only done with 5 niggas on stage, and each person on stage represented a different part of the joke. One person was the setup man, one person was the punch, one person did the singing, the dancing, and it took 5 niggas to tell one joke. In that era, when the curtain opened, they started in the middle of a conversation. It wasn't no setup. It wasn't talking about what happened in the media and the news. You know what I mean? So comedy has always evolved. So I think right now it's just going through a growing pain. A lot of the older comedians, the bitter Def Jam niggas, is what I like to call them. I love them niggas, but them niggas is overly concerned about who's gay, who's in the Illuminati, who ain't funny, and all that shit is goofy as fuck. You feel me? Social media has allowed people to choose who they like. So a lot of times, a lot of these older comedians are of the mind frame that if the system chooses them, that means they're better. Now, that don't mean they better. You know what I'm saying? It takes more in this era to be funny than it did in the previous era. The only difference is they have more artist development. So it seems like they were better, but they weren't better.
Now, why you say it take more in this era than the previous era?
Because I'm a comedian. I got my own podcast studio. So I got to create my content. I got to write my jokes. And I still got to do what they used to do. I still got to go on stage and get funny. I got to create sketches. I got to book people to come do my show. I got to write scripts. You feel what I'm saying? So we more like mixed martial artists.
One thing I did see that said somebody would... 2 things I think that I ain't gonna say fucked up comedy, but made it a little more difficult is like you can't be raw and uncut no more. Like the type of shit that Bernie Mac was saying back then or Dave Chappelle was doing, they'll get flagged or banned for doing it today. And then I think you was able to linger on tour with the same joke more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So now it's more social media. Once everybody get a grip of it and it goes viral for a minute, you can't keep going to do this on tour. You can't keep using these same jokes. You down there got to come fresh, like you said, constantly. So, but I believe that's a good thing also because it can keep you in a creative spirit and keep you knowledgeable of knowing you got to stay ahead of the curve. So
the elite niggas, the gifted niggas are always going to be gifted niggas no matter what era you put them in. It's a little harder to find them now. You know, the Bernie Macs back then, you know, he was blessed to get to the position he was in, but he was an older man, almost 50 before he got his just due, you know.
Right.
Red Fox was 49 or 59 when he got his first big break. So the niggas who speak their mind in an uncomfortable way, the path always takes them a little bit longer, you know what I mean? Because it's a lot of bullshit that people got to seep through to get to the real. You know, you grind diamonds. They just don't happen overnight. So it's actually better. I understand what you're saying because a lot of people have that perspective, but it's really right now you get a chance to see an artist's journey. Before you couldn't see the journey. You only saw when a nigga walked on stage and the camera was on. You didn't get to see him in the back arguing with his bitch. Or, you know what I'm saying? Or building up to becoming Bernie Mac. You don't see Bernie Mac in 1978, but he was around in 1978. You feel what I'm saying? So now you get to see that. And so for the older artists, they're uncomfortable with that because it's pulling the mask off. It used to be a time when you looked at a nigga that was a star and you thought he was another type of human. Now everybody knows I'm capable of this shit. I got a podcast too, nigga.
Yeah, right. I do exactly what you do, nigga. I just ain't got the budget behind me, nigga.
You feel me? So now it takes more to be great. As you know, you're doing podcasts. Like before I started doing these podcasts, I didn't research. I mean, I always was smart, but I didn't research shit I would have never researched just out of trying to be credible to people that would watch my show. I want to give good information. You know what I'm saying? So I'm reading about serotonin, melatonin, you know, the Anunnaki or whatever. I'm just reading those shit. You know what I mean? I'm when I see a name, I'm a research his bio. If I see another name in his bio, I'm gonna research that name. You know, so it's an era where we're actually sharper than the niggas that came before us. It's just that there's more of us now. So it's really a war of attrition where you got to put your flag in the dirt as an artist and be like, man, I don't give a fuck what's going on around me. I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna be here regardless of what happens in the world. You look up 10 years from now, I'm gonna still be here. I'm gonna be elevated, but I'm gonna just keep going. Cause what else I'm gonna do?
What do you think is the key to separate from the, say if it's 100 balloons in here for you to stand out?
Your message. There's no perfect messengers, only perfect messages. You gotta have a message. It's gotta be bigger than you. It's got to be bigger than you. That's the only way to survive. For me, I got the saying where I say, if I owe you something, get it from God, right? That came arguing with a bitch on the phone 15, 20 years ago. I was a suck-ass nigga as far as like, you know, I just, you know, thought this Christmas came.
Nigga had to go through it first. You know, that's what bring out the villains, man.
Because they hate a Christmas list. Young niggas never fuck with a bitch that give you a Christmas list. Only your daughter or your sister or a woman that's really fucks with you to be able to give you a list of things she wants for Christmas. This bitch gave me a list, 30 things on the list.
Crazy.
Oh, yeah, she was
20.
crazy.
I'm 20 at the time. I'm a young, square, big nose, light skinned nigga. You feel me?
You cashed out on all 30?
Hey, I cashed out on 29.
She was mad about the one. Mad about the one. Ain't no satisfying their ass. And, oh, God. And then she gonna probably make it seem like the one was the main one she wanted.
Everything, this is what I want.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So we arguing, and in the argument, I said, well, damn, baby, well, shit, I ain't gonna be able to, I tried. If I owe you something, bitch, get it from God.
And they don't get no E for effort.
I'm trademarking that, bitch.
Yeah, that's wild.
Can't give a woman the world, they want the universe next.
But that shit kept repeating, not just with bitches. You realize it's bitch ass niggas. It's like, oh, there are people out here who use other people to fill voids. So they don't fuck with you based on, like I was saying earlier, they're not building a connection with me. Commonality is not something that they use to strengthen them. That's just a device they use to get what they want from people. You weaponize love. Like it ain't you can't even really call it love, but some people, everything they do, people will develop an entire personality based on you. And some people don't understand that. They think that it's motherfuckers out there. Some people don't understand there's people like that out there. But you just really got to be careful. You got to ask a lot of questions, especially if you're doing entertainment. You got to back people up. You can't let people over compliment you. You know what I'm saying? If a motherfucker, niggas in the gangbang world know this on how they politic. You just move into the neighborhood where your grandma live. Okay, I know somebody over there. Let me call and do my due diligence on this nigga. Well, is he good over there? Because if a motherfucker ain't good over there, he can't be good over here. Nigga, like, you know what I'm saying? So, but you got to do that with each individual as you collect these successes and grow, because it's niggas that's going to leech. Nigga,
you never know the intentions.
You never know. And then here, the crazy thing about it is, your success will change people around you. You don't view it as success. It's really growth to you. But that will make people come out the bag who you never would have thought come out. Like, you never seen it coming from this nigga. I didn't even think this nigga, you know what I mean? Niggas start getting sensitive. And it's just, this is a weird thing we do. I know y'all niggas is ready for it because y'all brilliant. I watched y'all show, man.
Good looking, good looking. That's that, because me and him have this conversation all the time where we sit back and go, okay, at what point are you like at success? Because when you grinding, you got an end game, of course, but it's like on the way to that, people start reacting to you as if you already there where you want to be. But in their eyes, you're there. And that's when the change start to happen. Like you said, niggas looking at you like, oh, cuz you Hollywood now? Like, fuck you mean? Nigga, I'm the same nigga. You acting funny now. Because you feeling less than, because you're viewing me here now, even though I'm still viewing us as damn near equals. Nigga, I'm trying to bring you with me.
Yeah. I'm still the same nigga. I'm still the same homie you can pull up, same nigga you can call. But it's funny, like you said, when you get to certain points, and you could deal with this on small levels. If you come around with some money, you know what I'm saying, and people start acting different, but they'll say you change. They might paint that picture to everybody. They change first, and it forces you to change because you want me to stay the same nigga after you done changed on me. Like, nigga, no, I gotta move differently according to you. Man, like, nigga, I can't be the same nigga. You was abusing that nigga. Man. So it's like, nigga, what the fuck? Yeah, so niggas be wild.
That's the thing that really, like, the boundary. That's the thing. That's how you really know when you have to start setting different boundaries. Like, I'll give an example. Early in my show, I started it during the quarantine.
Oh,
we were supposed to be in the crib chilling. But I said, fuck it, I'm going to just do my podcast. So Jay was around. It was 40, 50 niggas trying to come be in the studio with me to do my show. I'm paying for everything, though. Everything out of my pocket, right? And I'm just saying yes to niggas because I'm thinking it's how we was growing up. Nigga, we playing football in the street.
These my niggas is regular.
Right. And there's some niggas that's fans I let around who forgot that they was fans of mine. And I said, come on, it's all good. So what I'm saying is, you start saying yes to motherfuckers. You start saying yes to motherfuckers as the stakes get higher. Certain people don't have the acumen to be around everything. You know, the first contract I got doing podcasting was the most money I ever made in entertainment, right? In the contract is a morality clause. That means that any nigga I have around me on my show, if they do something that's morally corrupt or against the moral guidelines of who I'm in contract with, they can nullify my contract. You feel what I'm saying? So now you got a nigga around you. Okay, it's cool to be a nigga that's getting off on niggas and calling bitches out their name and doing all that crazy shit. But now I got something on the line. So now you can't be here doing that. So now, hey, homie, you can't do that. You can't touch that bitch without her permission. That's the homie girl. You can't do it. Hey, the nigga that owned the studio, that's his wife. My nigga, now you setting boundaries. Now niggas is tripping. Now you're not around and niggas is triangulating.
Now you acting different.
So now I'm acting different.
It's the Bang of Smurf 50 Cent effect. That's hey, my nigga, you fucking the money up. I gotta send you back to the hood. You still my nigga, but you don't get it.
But that nigga ain't gonna go back like learning a lesson. He gonna go appreciative that the homie let me in and showed me this is how you do it. They not looking at like if any nigga doing it, let you around them, that's them saying, go ahead, look at what I'm doing, and then leave and do it for yourself at some point. That don't mean come in and try to take mine over.
Right. And it's crazy though, because the niggas that's in those positions why would you even have to jeopardize if he's having a man-to-man talk with you? Like, look, I'm in this position, or we in this position, sort of say, and we can't move like this. It's a time and place for that. And I think that's what niggas forget. They don't know how to, what is it, what you always call it?
What's that?
I forget. I'm gonna just say they don't know how to adjust. You don't know how to adjust. You can't read the room right. You know this ain't the time to be acting a fool. These ain't even the type of people to be acting a fool with. Like pipe down a little bit.
You know what's crazy? I done had to cut some people off already based off of them trying to belittle you to make them feel equal to them. Like you still look like that. Oh, this is my nigga. I don't look at you no different.
That's called evaluation.
Oh, you got the podcast now, so now they trying to like downplay whatever you doing whenever his bitch is around. Or I used to know this nigga when he was whoop whoop. Like, you know, they get that shit going. It's like, goddamn, cut everything a secret competition with you when I come around.
Nah,
I'm coming around to chill. You trying to prove that. Well, I'm on that level too, even though you really ain't doing shit.
Or it be that too, or it be like, oh, these niggas is podcasters, and I'll be like, oh, y'all do niggas forget that?
Like,
easy?
you forgot, cuz niggas.
But niggas forget that quick. And for me, I done been through so much shit where it'd be like, I don't want to have to prove nothing, but it makes you distance yourself because now you might have to crash somebody, because that's the nature of the beast when people want to see you back on that level. They want you to crash out. They don't want to see you get to those points. You do have those people that's happy to see you and salute, but it blows my mind because I'm the person. I don't give a fuck how bad I'm doing. If my niggas is doing good, I'm going to salute you. I'm happy for you. Keep doing your shit. I'm not going to tell you to come back to the hood and do nothing with me. I'm going to tell you, stay your ass that way, nigga. Like, keep going where you going. You headed in the right direction, but you get those type of people, and it's like, and when you really break it down to the core, it ain't nothing but emotions that's stirred up within yourself.
Yeah, that's also them cluster B personality disorders. That's why y'all brothers should really do a little bit of research on that, because you'll see when a nigga's doing that type of shit repeatedly, that ain't no accidental shit. I had a nigga around me that was fucking up on purpose, right? But it took me to really sit and think like, why fucking up? Okay, oh, this nigga is, instead of coming to me and asking, how do you do this? He's the type of nigga that is used to stealing what he wants. So he has to set shit up like a play. So instead of just coming to me like, hey, homie, how you get this studio and how much does it cost? Okay, how do you do this? And he feels like he's less than because he's in competition. He feels like he's submitting to me because he has to come to me for things he doesn't know, because in his mind, he has a grandiosity where he feels like he's above me, but nothing in the environment supports that delusion.
Exactly.
So I have to play for what I want. Everything is a lick to niggas like this. Everything is like, no, we doing honest work. It's God's work we doing. We ain't got to do it. This ain't the streets, nigga. You ain't got to leave and then tiptoe away and go into a dark corner with niggas and then start talking about what I ain't doing right. Yeah, the homies is cool, but why would they do it like that? Don't you think it's...
Oh my God.
This is what I'm saying.
Oh God.
Yeah. That's the cluster B personality disorder.
Now that's real, because a female could be that way too. A female could be trying to sabotage your success out of fear of losing you. I see that a lot. I got a lot of rapper homies.
Facts.
And they girl be giving them the blues. Why you in the studio all the time? It's like, bitch, the studio paying for this shit right here. What the fuck you mean? But in their mind, they thinking once he get to a certain level, he's gonna access a certain level of women, and I won't be around no more. He gonna get rid of me.
And it's crazy because I'll be telling females it's damn near the opposite with men. Like, if you stay down through them times, a man is gonna value you more than just these new ones that's flocking. We know why they flocking. But it goes from people not doing that inner work, not knowing their own self-worth, because they feel in their mind, oh, he doesn't realize that he's too good for me.
Right.
Or he might realize that and get action at these other bitches. He ain't been there yet. So now they're feeling inferior about it. So it's crazy at the end of the day when you look at all that shit. It's just like I say, it's based off of all emotions, and they be clouded by it, or those type of personalities you said are growing up a certain way.
That feel, you just y'all gotta be real careful, because, y'all tapped into something as far as like, a level of understanding self and society. That's a responsibility that most motherfuckers ain't really be able to bear that weight. You feel me? You're going to see the dark side of motherfuckers that you would have never been able to see without doing the work you've been doing. And it's going to be a little bit disappointing. It's going to have you in a space where you're a little lonely. You can't fuck with everybody and all that. You know what I mean? But you just got to be real careful what you give your energy to, because some people are empty and they try to use you to fill those voids. And once you understand that, oh, this nigga want to crash out. He want me to fill this void. You got a gray rock. And gray rocking is basically just, like you said, cutting motherfuckers off, giving them zero emotionality because they just looking to drain you. Because right now, y'all, you know what I'm saying? We trophies.
No, that's a fact.
So if I'm into it with these niggas, it's a status thing for me.
Yeah.
But if you into it with them niggas, you tripping. What are you doing?
Exactly.
But, you know what I mean? So it's a real tough thing. You got to navigate.
And what'd be the most fucked up thing, you be wanting the same shit for them, but they just don't be wanting it for themselves. It's like the same shit I pray for what I want for myself. I pray the same for my family, my homies, and everything else. You know, they probably wouldn't even know that, but still, I don't want to see niggas going through it because I know how it is going through it too. So, but niggas don't give a fuck about that shit. Like you said, they'll have their own views about how they viewing you now, and they'll go base and run with that.
Yeah, like they say,
no jumper culture, man. That really fucked it up.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Niggas be like,
they gonna clip this one up quick. Yeah.
Like, don't they fuck with no jumper?
I'm not on fuck no jumper because it's the same old CIA type of thing. I don't know what's going on over there specifically. I went up there one time, but just the comfortability of talking about street politics and things of that nature on camera. You know, it just really disappointed me that a lot of the niggas involved in that situation over there were willing to do that. You know what I'm saying? Because being West Coast niggas, growing up in gang culture and shit, you know, the world don't really understand how ingrained that is into our thinking and our lifestyle, and how much bigger it is than just cuz and blood and all that shit. Like, this is literally how we was raised. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a certain thing. It's just disappointing to see it for sale like that. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe y'all may disagree, but you know, I just was real disappointed the last couple of years.
Nah, we
work with no jumper a couple times. We work on and off with them, and my view, I don't know, I can't speak for him, but my view changed when I went there and I started working. I had the same view. Oh, I had a man, he fucking us over. This, that, and the third. No jumper, no jumper. Then I go up there and I see a block long line of niggas lining up to come be the next jester. No gun to their head. These niggas ain't getting paid. Nothing. Niggas just want the clout. They just want their face out there, and they're willingly selling out the culture for free. So wasn't like it was a psyop going on. I'm looking like, hold on, cuz you know for a fact you ain't supposed to be saying this shit on camera. Niggas don't care. Like, the clout was that much. That's when I sat back like, oh, okay. I gotta really place the accountability on the culture. Cause nigga, if we go do a crime and we get cracked, you know to shut the fuck up in the interrogation room. But you telling me in front of this camera, in front of these white people, all of a sudden you don't know how to stick to the code?
Right.
That's what changed my view on it. So I didn't really put so much blame on the platform as I did the niggas. Cause it's like, y'all selling this out.
Right.
Like you said, you know this is deeper than just blood, cuz, red, blue. Like, nigga, this is ingrained in us from birth damn near when you from out here. So to go up there and sell it out for nothing, it was like, okay, I'm blaming you niggas. I ain't so much blaming the platform.
So I agree to what you were saying. I spoke on this several times, plenty of times. People felt like, oh, why he saying this or how he know this. And from my own personal experience, I done been through the system and everything else to the fullest. So I had experienced certain things on myself as far as just and learning the detail when you read paperwork of how detailed they go through your shit. And not even just that. I remember I had put just one of my homies was getting told on. And I had put like a Facebook post when I was hella young, like, any nigga snitching deserve to get shot in the spine. And when I went to jail, when I went to court, they blasted it on the screen. And my mama in there looking at it like I told you. She probably just shaking her head. And I'm looking at it or whatever. And they like, see, this the type of mindset. This the type of people they are. You know what I'm saying? So me learning from that and from my own experiences, speaking on that, but people will look at it like, oh, you trying to preach or you trying to do this. But I'm really just trying to lace you to where it's like, nigga, you shouldn't be talking about nothing, period. We knew that, but now it's just, it's way to a different degree now because they're on Instagram. They catching niggas literally just putting 2-2 on Instagram and finding niggas. So I think with that no jumper space, the streets should never be involved in that sense unless it's nothing wrong with telling your story. But if you're an active gang member and you on here giving active stories that might not have a statute of limitations, and I feel like just the borderline of street rules, most of that is thrown out and it's only selective to who they put pressure on about who needs to follow him and who doesn't.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think that's where the lines is blurred. It's like you get to the podcast and everything that you thought in the streets, you step outside in the streets, you got to move a certain way. Right. I think niggas on that podcast get in front of these cameras and be like, I'm going to just move how I want to move. Or you're not thinking that loose lips sink ships. And we watching that go down right now. Right. Just small percentages of stuff though. And it's like, you know what I mean? Hopefully that starts to change and people learn from other people's mistakes, but people want to get on. You know what I mean? Clout is a hell of a drug these days.
What I am noticing is a shift though. Not even at No Jumper, just like across the spectrum. I'm starting to see the platforms who were forefronting that type of stuff, the clown content, the made up beefs, the plays, the drama. They starting to try to dabble into some tapped in type of content to see how they fans react. Right. Because the fans is getting drama fatigue. Right. Man, we tired of seeing this shit. All right, it was funny at first. This shit is old. Y'all on this again? So I'm starting to see a shift into more conscious content. Like they got the homie Brandon up there at No Jumper now. So he's doing a lot of the race debates and, different type of content we wouldn't see because a lot of the favorite gang members are back locked up. So I do see a shift in the culture in podcasting, period, because it was a time where this type of content or any type of conscious content was like, man, what the fuck is wrong with you niggas? You niggas better start doing some drama. People literally telling us, hey, bro, y'all need to fake a fight. Y'all need to do this. Y'all need to talk
make
about
plays.
this. You go to your hood and do this. And we like, man, we already foreseen this moment back then, 2-3 years ago.
Like people can check old clips. We done been talked about it. The only thing that I don't like is when people think that, like, we voice our opinions. We've been like that. We've been, if it's on my mind, I'm gonna get it off my chest type shit. But I know what to say and what not to say. At least I would like to think that, and I try to learn from my mistakes. But people always misconstrue us of being knowledgeable as coming off as we know everything. Right. It's like we never try to present as we know everything. It's just like I know what I know, and it's beyond what you thought we knew. So your perception of us was a little different because when I grew up, how I was taught, you act on how you think and you don't speak on how you feel too much. You know what I'm saying? So you're not even opening your mind. And then now when they see us on podcasts, it's like, damn, this nigga probably wouldn't have gave me 10 words unless you was a person that I felt like you was more knowledgeable for me to open my mind to. Because other than that, I wouldn't do that. Right. So now you seeing that and people, besides the people, I mean, this is people that know us, but other than outside of that, they're still surprised of how we look and they're not expecting us to speak on topics that we speak on. So we gonna change the narrative, man, of our way for sure.
That part right there. Yeah. Nah, good looking for coming through, man. We ain't gonna keep you all day. This was a banger, man. This was a good one. Y'all go check my boy out. Where can they find you? If they don't know, I'm pretty sure they already know. Man. But to the ones that don't know.
Oh yeah, man. The Kraig Smith. Watch Kraig Facts, my podcast, every Tuesday at 3. I'm everywhere. 5150, All Def Digital, Define Digital. Big Jai sketches. Shit, all over the place. I'm dropping a couple. I'm dropping another album this year and a stand-up special. So I got an album, a stand-up special coming out. It's called Black Underwear, the shit you can't see. You know what I mean? So
it's already recorded.
No, I'm shooting that in the next couple months, but be on the lookout for that. And then I'm gonna drop another Chill Withers album. And then just check me on Tubi. I'm in a lesbian homie series. I'm in a few things on Tubi. The whole crew's stupid.
What's the Tubi movie name?
So the series is called.
Series.
Yeah, one of them is called The Lesbian Homie. It's about this nigga that keep falling in love with studs and they break his heart and go back to business.
This nigga wild.
I'm gonna tap in on that. I'm gonna tap in on Tubi, man.
When the next live show?
Tubi, I need a shot on Tubi, man. I think I want to see what the acting skills like.
Shout out to Tubi, tap in.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
When the next live show, man, we got to pull up to one of them live shows. You know, I enjoy live comedy shows. I'm one of the people that still go to the the Improv. I still go to Chocolate Sundays. Yeah. I be outside, man, looking for the good comedians.
Yeah, hell yeah. I'm supposed to be at Chocolate Sundays tomorrow. I don't know if I'm going to make it. I might have to reschedule, but shit, I'll be at the Improv every Monday. I can get up there whenever. So I'm just figuring it out. I'm supposed to be doing a roast, preparing to do a roast at the House of Blues in Vegas the weekend of the Canelo and Crawford fight.
Oh, that's cool.
That's
lit out there. I might
have to go out there. Yeah, we might have to be out there for
crazy.
That's gonna be cracking. So I got
a movie.
It come weekly, man. I can't think of nothing, but I'll keep you tapped in. But Yeah, just look out, man. The Kraig Smith, a.k.a. Chill Withers. And if I owe you something, get it from God. Nigga.
Man,
Shout out to Corey.
You don't owe us nothing, man. We appreciate you for coming, man. This was a good one. You know what I'm saying? Y'all tap into Kraig stuff and keep doing shit the viral way.
Viral way or no way. Y'all know what's going on by now, man. Ride with us or collide with us. Shout out to 5152. I like the content they doing over there. I see Corey Holcomb going crazy on the BBLs. I had a super viral clip on the BBL, so it's like, okay, let me get back in my red pill bag a little bit.
Coming bleeding everybody.
Okay. But yeah, good looking for coming through, man.
It's all good. I appreciate it.
Good looking for coming through, blessing the platform. Culture shifting conversations. That's what we about, man. We out of here. Viral way. Bang.
Ain't no handouts, I did it from the ground up. In the streets, thugging hardest where they found us. Got a problem, nigga, watch my troopers mount up. My bitch is bang too, and you a lame though. You niggas ain't outside, yeah, we came through. You want your lights up, we put you on the shade.